Hello, everybody. Let's see, where can I put the phone? That looks good. All right, I am here. Let's go. It's just me right now, but that's okay. I'm a little bit early. Here come my viewers. Welcome, everybody. I am in somebody else's office today because I'm traveling and speaking. So I just got done, but no time to get back to any cool spots. So I was either do it here or do it in my car. And, well, this seemed like a better spot to do it. Don't know how the sound is. If the first person who comes on, Bobby, you're on. If you can tell me if the sound is good, I would appreciate it. Might be a little echoey. Sounds a little echoey in here. That I can't control. But I want to make sure that this thingamajiggy here in my ear, this Apple earbud, AirPod thing is working. All right, everybody. So episode 8 of The Real Deal with Dan Smith, getting ready to start. Thank you, Walt. So this week I was going to continue to talk about lead follow-up. All right, one of the things I was going to do this week was continue last week's conversation about the importance of lead follow-up. Oh, I just realized I'm doing this the wrong way. Somebody told me I was supposed to do it this way. And I can't do that. Can't rotate the phone while recording. Lesson learned. So this week we stay straight up and down. My apologies for people who that drives crazy. I know you've mentioned it to me before, and sorry, my bad. New thing. Look, it took 8 weeks to learn that lesson. Can't flip it mid-session. So we're going to stay upright this week. So we are supposed to talk about lead follow-up and what else we could be doing to follow up with more leads, more better, right? More better, that's a good phrase, but how can I do this more better? How can I do it more effectively? But you know what? I'm just not feeling that this week. I can talk about it, if that's what you all want to talk about, but I just wanted to talk about something else. And so either one, something I'm feeling, or two, something that you all want to talk about. So I wanted to invite everybody real quick. First, go down there and hit the share button. No, second, go down there and hit the share button. That's right after you write into here what you'd like to talk about today, what you'd like the topic to be. Give everybody 30 seconds or so to type in, and if you type in, awesome, and if you don't type in, then, you know what, I'm going to do something real quick. Hang with me. I wonder if I can do that. No, I don't think I can do that. Well, let's put testing out more than one thing. Yes, cool. All right, so what would you like to talk about? If not, I will pick something on my own, and you will get to talk about what I feel like talking about. So what is it? Those of you who are there, what is going on that you think would be a great topic for today? What is the difference? What is the difference between differentiation and value? Okay, that's a great one. I can definitely get into that. Let's have that conversation a little bit. So I've been doing this thing lately. Let's bring everybody up to speed real quick. Pretend you had a piece of paper in front of you, right? And you drew a cross right in the middle of it. And then at the top left, you wrote the words lead generation. And then at the top right, you wrote the words lead conversion. And then in the bottom left, you wrote the word lead differentiation. Or not lead, just differentiation. And then in the bottom right, you wrote the word value. This is kind of a brainstorming idea, a hybrid of an idea that I came up with that Chris Waters from Austin, Texas had shared with me. And kind of like his mindset, his value, and then I tried to figure out how to put it into a format that was easy for me to understand. So what we're going to talk about is that bottom row. That was your question. Not lead gen, not lead conversion, but what is the difference between differentiation and value? So here we go. Differentiation is this. How are you different from people in your area? So if you're a real estate agent selling real estate in the city of Gotham, right? We use Batman cities. If you're selling real estate in Gotham, how are you different than the other real estate agents that are selling real estate in Gotham? What separates you? What makes you different? Now, there'll never be anything, I don't believe, that's 100% unique. You can't, like every good idea or bad idea and idea in between has been taken. However, you'll be different than 90%, 95% of those agents. So what differentiates you from the rest? By the way, if you haven't yet, go down there and hit that share button. What differentiates you from your competition? You need to have that list. If you don't have that list, you're average. You're just like everyone else, that means. And if you're in California, or if you're in Seattle, or if you're in any major metropolitan area, that means why should they use you when they have thousands and thousands of other agents to choose from, because you're just like everybody else. So how do you differentiate yourself from the competition is what I meant by that bottom left square. Now, the bottom right square is value, and that question was, how do you bring value? And the question you asked, Melissa, is what's the difference between the two? Well, bringing value, while in itself is probably different, maybe that's where the confusion lies, that is probably different than most agents, because I believe a lot of real estate agents don't bring value. But in this circumstance, we've already got differentiation over here, so you can't repeat it over here. What else can you do for a buyer? And everybody start typing. Again, Facebook Live is about interacting, not what. This is not webinar live, okay? This is not log in to watch a webinar. This is interaction. Everybody start typing right now. What are things that you do to bring value to your potential buyers, your potential sellers, or your past clients' sphere of influence? What are things that you do to bring value? Everybody should be sharing right now. Now, you guys type slow. Some of you don't type. This gets real boring, real fast if you don't interact. So tell me, what are some of the things that you do to bring value? Let's share those ideas. We'll go back to differentiation in just a minute, Melissa. But now you're understanding the difference, right? Differentiation and value. Laura Ford, you listen to their needs. And that believe it or not, that is something valuable. Because just getting your point across to them is not valuable. Matt says, I don't have enough things. Janine, find different loan programs that might work. You can offer them different loan programs that might work better than what they're currently doing. Give them extra info, homes not on the market, giving them inventory that not everybody else in Zillow and Redfin and every other agent out there knows about, knowing what else is available, maybe pocket listings, having market knowledge, giving them additional inventory options. That's a good piece of value. I'd have to say sharing up-to-date data on an area. Okay, so giving them good data on a specific area. Those are all little pieces of value that you can bring. So if you're working with a buyer, letting them know about other houses that are available perhaps, listening to their needs and not just trying to cram them into what you want them to get into, helping them find the best loan program. If they're currently wanting to put down 10% and they're still going to have mortgage insurance, maybe helping them find a loan program that they can put down 10% and not have mortgage insurance. That would be highly valuable. That's the pure sense of value. That's like dollar signs value that you're saving for them, right? Being knowledgeable, Lolly, right? Keep going, everybody. Keep typing. Being knowledgeable is very important. It brings a lot of value. Why work with you if you don't have knowledge? Knowledge of the community. Let me see. Bobby says interior and architectural design help, staging, vineyard knowledge. Like, because you work up in an area where there are vineyards, that would be weird for some other people. But right, Bobby, you can offer them ideas. When how often are buyers not able to see past like the home? They're like, oh, the home was really messy, or there's a lot of stuff on the walls. I don't think we can buy it, because the agent isn't helping them see past that. Imagine if you did this. Picture if you did that. Helping them visualize architecture, design. Helping them understand, if they're sellers, the value of staging. Helping them understand, again, the market. Vineyard knowledge would be market knowledge. Lolly, best schools, etc. Hey, here are the schools that go around here. Do you know that this school is a Blue Ribbon Award winner? Do you know that this school has the best that, or the most popular this? Right? Being able to share all of that sort of information, Melissa. Those are the differentiators between value, right, and differentiation. Probably used the wrong word in that example. That is value, giving them, versus differentiation. Now, how can you be different? Everybody right now, share some ideas for how you can be different. Obviously, you can be different by doing all of these things. You can be different by adding value, because a lot of agents don't add value. So let's just assume that one's on the list. Add value. That one's on the list. What else can you do than your competition to be different. If you're working with a buyer, what can you do? If you're working with a seller, what can you do? And again, your past clients, your sphere of influence. How can you be different than the 11 other real estate agents they know and come in contact with? Okay? Area info, restaurants, nightlife, helping them integrate into socially. That's probably still more value. I'm looking from a real, and that you might have been, it takes a long time to come through. I get it, Matt. So, but I think that one's more value. I'm speaking more from a standpoint now, differentiating yourself. Hey, we're going to be buying a house in the next month. Why should we use you? Or, hey, we're going to be selling a house in the next month. Why should we use you? Or, we've done business with you in the past. Next time we're going to do business, why should we use you? What's the differentiator? Other than you know me, like me, love me, why should they use you versus the competition? Yes, value in terms of knowledge and expertise. Great. What else? What else? Because that's a little bit of an intangible, by the way. And we can try to convince them of it and exhibit it and prove it to them, but it is a little intangible. What else can you do to differentiate yourself from the pack? And you guys are having a tough time typing right now, it sounds like. Well, it looks like. Because I'll get no replies. You need to type something in. Let's really think about this. Walt says, tell them the truth at the listing presentation. Letting them know the truth about commissions. Letting them know the truth about values and prices. That's a good one. For buyers, find homes that are not on the market. Again, that would be a differentiator. I know we put that one in value, but yes, that could be something that's different. Maybe explaining to them how you do it. Maybe the value is that you do it, you can do it. Maybe the differentiator is, here's how I do it. I find homes that are not on the market by doing this, which no one else does. Right? I think that'd probably be a good way to say that one. Higher level of competency. Okay, so you can be better with contracts and negotiations. Again, how do you prove it ahead of time? You can tell them, I'm smarter than everybody else, but that kind of seems like it's bragging. So how do we go about proving that fact so that we can get them to work with us because we are different, rather than proving it to them so they continue to work with us? Experience doing the extras beyond the call of duty. Wow, I apparently did not put my phone on Do Not Disturb this time. All kinds of rookie mistakes. And I'm not a rookie anymore, 8 weeks in. But I'm in a foreign spot, so I forgot to do that. So, proven track record. There's a good differentiator, right? Here's the success that we have had compared to the rest, compared to the norm. Availability, like the Sam Rial model. Being there to answer your phone, being there to answer their questions, even when it's not convenient. That could be a differentiator. Might not be one that you like, but it could make you a differentiator. I've actually called Sam Rial twice since I've shared that story with you guys. And at kind of oddball times, by the way. And both times, he's answered the phone not knowing who I am. Now he has my name plugged into his phone, I think. But the other two times, he just answered the phone. And we're talking like, 6:49 in the morning, and like 6:49 in the evening. Because he's going to be one of the speakers, one of the presenters, one of the panelists, I guess you'd say, at the upcoming Jumpstart. And so I'm calling him to kind of work that out. And no matter what time I call, the dude really does pick up his phone. So that is definitely something that's different. By the way, we're going to have not only Sam at the Jumpstart, speaking about what makes him different, how he's been able to break into luxury so fast, 200 million in sales, all that great stuff, right? We're also having his fiance, Amy, as a panelist. And man, is this a power couple, right? So she's already at 70 million closed on the year up in Vancouver, British Columbia from Canada. 70 million closed, and we're just at the beginning of October here, right? So they're going to be like my power couple panel that we have on. So that should be a lot of fun for you guys and gals who are coming. All right, keep going. So anyway, I think that's it. I think we kind of beat that. I think we kind of answered those questions. Who else has something else to talk about? Start typing. What else would you like to handle on this one? This is kind of a free-for-all episode 8. Rather than me bringing a topic, I just wanted to talk about what got you guys going. And while you do that real quick, I want to share something else. If you have not registered for the Jumpstart, you still can. We still have tickets left. We have a lot of tickets left, actually. I think we've only sold 65% of the tickets. So, if you want to get involved, in the last couple of days, I've inked a couple of other speakers and presenters committing to coming. It's going to be an absolutely fantastic 2 days to jumpstart your 2018 at this January event. The website is www.jumpstartyour2018.eventbrite.com. So go log on. Best money you can spend going into next year to get your year started. In the last week, we've had Jim Wahlberg, who's currently presenting at the Luxury Real Estate Conference in Toronto today, I believe. Jim Wahlberg from the Bay Area is going to be coming and presenting on social media strategies, right? And named one of the 200 most influential people in real estate and one of the 21 most interesting people in real estate, Jim Wahlberg. We are going to have Kayla Laws from JK Realty down in Arizona come and talk about culture, and man, that's just going to be fantastic. We are going to have, we've also in the last couple of days, Kendall Young from the Southern California, Glendale area, in the business for 31 years, how she's continued to stay at the top, performing at a high level, tips and tricks from a 31-year-old old dog, not a new dog, on success strategies and things that she would recommend as she continues to see the market change, and how she is staying current with the market changing, even with that kind of longevity in the business and that kind of an age, how she's doing it, right? And then Jeff Quinton from Ocean City, New Jersey, the Keller Williams superstar phenom agent, is going to be flying out, and he's going to be with us for both days and sharing a lot of good information about success. Jeff Quinton, over the last 15 years, I believe, has had a minimum of 150 closed transactions per year. Some of those years, it's been over 300, right? And some of those years, it hasn't been 300, but it's still never been below 150. So get involved at the Jumpstart, for the Jumpstart. $249 gets you your ticket for a 2-day event with this kind of caliber. You can't match it anywhere else, so get involved. Now, in the meantime, no one has typed anything else that they want to talk about. No one has shared anything else that they want to talk about. I'm not sure what that wow was for, Matt, but cool. I'm glad you're wowing. Maybe it's because of the speakers we've booked in the last 4 days. Leslie Appleton Young is going to be doing a woman, since no one, please, somebody type a question. Leslie Appleton Young will also be there, will also be present. She is the California Association of Realtors Vice President, and she's going to be leading a Woman Up panel. So for those of you women who want to come and participate and listen to Leslie and get involved in the Woman Up panel, this is a great opportunity to do that and support Woman Up and support everything that CAR initiative is doing. Yeah, great speakers, right, Matt? I mean, I'm just like, I'm so excited, and I've still got 5, 6, 7 people who I'm kind of on the fence, trying to get them to commit as well, that are still of that same quality, who are going to have so much powerful information to share. It's going to be awesome. Okay, so nobody else has given me an idea. You guys are all being shy and quiet today about what else to talk about today. So in that case, I will talk about something, and that is this. I just got done doing, maybe we have a question. Maybe I'll stop myself. What's the single most important web presence? I'm new and want to start with top priorities, my own website or Facebook. Great question. Great question. Your own website is not the answer. I know lots of agents who have great websites and do no business. I know lots of agents who have no websites and do great business. I know lots of agents who have great websites and do great business. And I know lots of agents who do no business and have bad websites. There is practically no correlation. So you do not need to have a website. Besides, in this world of mobile, websites seem to be going away just a little bit and going to apps anyway, but apps aren't big enough that it needs to matter. So Facebook, and I know several agents who use Facebook as their primary website and kill it. Okay? So I think having a Facebook account is important, both a personal page and a business page. All right? Because people want to see business for business, and they want to see you for you, and probably don't ever want to talk about personal on business, although you can sometimes talk about business on personal. But you also want to share who you are. People want to work with the person, Bobby, not just this phantom imaginary real estate guru, Bobby, right? So having, now, the good news is it's free to set up. You don't have to pay, $5,000 to set up a real estate website. It's free to set up, and it's relatively quick to set up. You can be done with it. Literally, it is 12:20 something Pacific Standard Time. If you put your nose down, went to work, distraction-free, and worked on it through dinner, drank some wine and ate dinner at the same time while you're finishing it up, you'd be done with both of them before you went to bed. So very easy to set up. I don't think it's super important from a website standpoint, to be honest. That's why you don't need a website. But you do want to have some internet presence. You want to start building relationships. You want to start having dialogue. You want to start, bridging that gap. And so Facebook, 10 times more important than a website, in my opinion. So you'll get to a website, but I won't even bother setting up a website until you can go to a company like, Real Geeks or Zerple or Real Estate Webmasters and drop $2,000, $4,000, $5,000 on a site. That also includes some lead gen. You probably, at this point, if you're new, the best money, meaning no money, can be spent on Facebook for the time being and build it from there. Okay? So that's your web presence question, Bobby, of how you would start. I wouldn't get tied up in all that other minutia. And again, you don't have to have, there's this joke that the broke agent put out there, like one of his posts, right? And it says, okay, I'm ready for real estate. I've got the Audi, I've got the Apple X phone, I've got the WinForms, the MLS, the Supra, the DocuSign, I've got the photographer, the Matterport camera, all this kind of stuff, right, that was listed. And the question was, now what do I do? Right? I got all these things, I spent all this money on all these new cool tools, tips, and tricks, and I'm ready for business. Now what do I do? Where do I go find it? Okay? So Facebook can help you develop that, I think. But ultimately, you've got to get out there and start looking for new business now. Very seldomly is somebody going to find you on Facebook and say, I just saw your Facebook profile and I'd like to work with you. That's not how it works. You find them, you meet them in real person, you continue to develop the relationship using Facebook and other alternative methods. That's great. But you still got to be out there, rubbing shoulders, talking to people, meeting people, be it on the phone, at events, at open houses, door knocking, working in a geographic farm area. I mean, the list goes on and on and on of ways to do it. You've got to meet those people to develop the relationships. You having a great website or not is irrelevant if you're not meeting people. Now, if you're meeting people, you can send them to a really cool Facebook website and it'll work just as good, and you can start to develop those relationships. All right. Who else has, this is almost like an always ask questions. We're just doing it in live format, right? But I just want to do something a little bit different for episode 8. Plus, I got these tan walls behind me. I've been doing these outside lately because I really like doing them outside. But it's kind of a boring wall, so I decided let's have a different content mix. So I'll go into what I was going to talk about then. I just got done speaking and delivering a message to an organization that does finance, I guess you'd say. And the talk was about mindset and goal setting. So about my mindset gym and about my pyramid. But it kind of segued into this really cool topic, and we started really getting into it. So what I love about speaking to smaller groups, I wasn't speaking to 100 people. It was a smaller group than that. And we really got to have some great dialogue and really brainstorm together. And what it came down to is, I don't think enough of you guys and gals in real estate are tracking your successes or your failures. And failures are nothing to be afraid of. I mean, for goodness sakes, I don't have the book in front of me, right? But Failing Greatly is my book. We want to fail. We aim to fail. We strive to fail. Because the more we fail, the more we succeed. The problem is, I think sometimes it's kind of off the cuff. We fail or we succeed, and then we don't really pay attention to what made us fail or what made us succeed. We don't track successes or failures or the causes of them, and we keep repeating the same circle over and over and over and not getting any better, not getting any more efficient, not becoming any less inefficient, right? So I think a tracking component for everybody, figuring out what's working, what's not working, how do you know if it's working, how do you know if it's not working, what kind of tracking system or implementation plan do you have to know? I think a lot of real estate agents lack that because this business is just so squirrel all over the place, and you're always reacting to things, and it's a very reactive business for most of you. And so figuring that out is something that you should be talking to somebody about. Whoever you work with, whoever you strategize, coach, train with, be it me or somebody else, you should be having that conversation about how do I truly track what's going on. That's got to be part of my strategy. I don't just want every week to somebody say, tell me what you did. Did you do what you're supposed to do? There's got to be a strategy that's out there that has that component to it, not just sort of like an offhanded afterthought. And Matt wrote something. Let's see. I have one. Since I do events, and Matt does do events with his peeps, right? People peeps. I have always dropped flyers. Give me your pitch for door knocking to introduce and to invite people to the event, like you're going to be doing a Halloween event. Okay, so I've always sent out, and you also do some social media stuff. You don't just do dropping flyers, right? You also do some social media posts, geographic, drop a pin, sponsored ads, let people know, friends and family all see it. You do some stuff on the web as well. But you're talking more of the belly-to-belly, other than just dropping the flyers. I'll keep doing the ancillary marketing that I have, how do I have a conversation about the event as well? And for instance, I have an event coming up in 20 some odd days, so that'd be good to know. So that's a great question. So there's always three components to a conversation, right? Yes, Facebook, Instagram, and Nextdoor, using Nextdoor promotion, right? Of course. So you're going to keep doing all of that stuff. Conversation, be it on the phone or at the door. You're going to be maybe knocking instead of calling because you can get to all of them versus just the ones you have phone numbers for. What are the three parts to every conversation? First, it's the introduction. Who I am. Now, if they know you, that's sort of an assumed part. But that's not really prospecting at that point for new stuff. That is introducing yourself to people. But, hi, my name is Dan Smith. I'm your local real estate agent here in the community of X or whatever. Right? Introduce yourself. Tell them why you're there. That's the second part. Tell them why you're there. And I was just dropping by to let you know, in case you haven't seen the flyers, in case you weren't aware of it, we're having our second annual Halloween trick-or-treat neighborhood event. We did it last year to great success. Everybody loved it. We're going to do it again. That's the second part. So who you are, introduction, why you're there. I'm here to let you know about this event. And then the third part, now this is not every conversation, by the way. I know I said that, but it's every prospecting conversation. The third part, what I want from you. So I just wanted to know if you wanted to be involved. Would you like to be one of the trick-or-treating groups? Would you like to be one of the houses that is here for the trick-or-treating groups? Maybe going out and giving candy isn't your thing. Or getting candy. Maybe giving candy is your thing. So three things. Who you are, why you're there, what you want from them. Whenever you're going out and door knocking, calling in an area, that's really how you want to base your conversation. It's around that little skeleton idea, map, blueprint, and then you're going to put the meat on it depending on what the activity is. And then as they start to know you, the introduction gets way less. Hey, you guys, just want to swing by again. They say, hey, Matt. You say, hey, just, swinging by because it's that time, third year. That'd be next year for the Halloween, right? So the introduction can sometimes start to get skipped or bypassed real fast. Who you are, why you're there, what you want from them, which is typically, would you like to be involved in one of these things that I have going on, asking them, and then wishing them a good day, ending it. You're not there to sell a house to them or to get them to list their home that day. Don't be, obnoxious or rude. Wish them well and get them out of there. We'll get you out of there, I guess would be the case. All right, everybody, so it's about 1 minute till 12:30, so we went right on time. I'm glad I got to answer. Great questions, by the way. I'll blame the questions on the lag time, not necessarily on you guys and gals not giving them, although unless some of you are still lagging, those are all the questions that came through. But good job on the questions that did get asked. I think that's good information to share with everybody. If you do me a favor, even when this is over, if you go to your Facebook site and share this right now, and by the way, I know it if you share it. It tells me how many shares I have, and it tells me who shared it. So I'm able to jam you up if you don't. I won't jam you up, probably, but please, go to the Facebook page, share it, let everybody know about it. Everybody, next week, same time, same place, 12 o'clock, noon Pacific Standard Time. The Real Deal with yours truly, Dan Smith, here on Facebook Live. Let's start letting more and more people know about this and continue to go to the audience. I appreciate it. Would it be appropriate, real quick question for you, Mike, would it be appropriate to use Nextdoor to convey real estate news? I don't think so. People don't want Nextdoor used for promotion and real estate news, and they get it in so many other ways. holding an event by a real estate agent, I think you can get away with. It's really not intended for self-promotion. I think you'll make people mad by kind of putting the real estate news on there. And so I would stay away from that. Now, mind you, next door is really only for like the neighborhood that you live in. Unless you happen to live in your farm, it's not a whole lot of value. If you live in your farm, then you've got to toe that line very carefully. If you don't live there, it really becomes not an option for you. So you're welcome, everybody. Have a good one next week. Same time, same place. Yes, Nextdoor has rules that you have to follow, Janine. So, Mike, pay attention to those rules. But remember, promoting stuff and making everybody mad is not a win. So we've got to have something super ridiculously valuable if we're gonna run any risks like that. A neighborhood event for the kids to trick or treat definitely meets that criteria. A neighborhood garage sale definitely meets that criteria. Yes, those are real estate related activities for real estate agents for self-promotion, but they're also value to the community. So it needs to be real value, tangible value, not just like, oh, here's some market knowledge value. I think that would just make people mad. Everybody, same time, same place, not same place, but for you, same place. I'll be someplace cooler than this, hopefully outside doing this again next week, episode 9. Look forward to seeing everybody there. Please, please, please hit that share button. Even if you're watching this late, hit that share button. You wake up tonight and you forgot to, go ahead, get onto Facebook, hit that share button, and I'll talk to everybody later. Bye-bye.